What's good, everybody? Welcome back to yet another video. So please not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and do whatever it is that you need to do if you wanna though, but I'm sure you do want, because there's a guy. You know, there's those people like, oh guys, I don't want you to subscribe right now. No guys, subscribe right now. Okay guys, get straight into the video. So in today's video, you can tell by the title of the video, I'm talking about things that I had enjoyed or I had learned from my first job. So we're gonna do the good and the bad because that's how I work, right? I do the good and the bad. Well, there is no ugly. Maybe there is. I mean, I've done the ugly, so done the ugly. Okay, so in at number one of the things that I had enjoyed in my first job has to be the culture. Oh my word. Um, it felt like a mini varsity. Not a mini varsity, but like a college of some sort. I think um, I got into a space where there was just so many young people that I could relate to. Um, so, okay, well, that's the other part of it. Uh, I think it's the type of like vibes that you would want if it's your first job, to sort of like feel like you can fit into the place, if that makes sense, right? I'm not, okay, please don't say I'm ageist or whatever. It's nothing to do with that, but those vibes. And you know, in terms of like culture, like social culture, you know, that was pushed in the company, I'm really for it. I loved it so much. I think it's one of the things that I do miss having moved into my new job. We had things like socials, like every Fridays there were like drinks and you chill with other, you know, people that you don't work closely with. So it gives that sense of, you know, get to know each other. You can play games, you can do whatever. So that was really, really nice. It makes you look forward to, you know, having like a Friday social session. That was like really, really dope. And other social like activities, I remember we had like a high tea party. There was just so many. Oh, and also there was like company breakfast and lunches and whatnot. That was a really like great way of sort of sometimes relax and move away from um, you know, work and just get to interact with other people. So I did really miss that when I moved into the new company. But yeah, so in terms of like culture and you know how everyone is super friendly, guys, in terms of like colleagues and you know people and you get it. And another thing that I didn't have written down was like working hours. It was really, really flexible. I think the core hours was between 9 to 3:30. So that was that. I really like, you know, enjoyed, you know, that part of it as well. You know, that for me was just like, oh my goodness, this is actually, I think they were compensating the low salaries. But yeah, it is what it is. That was also like amazing for them and for the people working there. And at number three is team members, friendly, always willing to help. Um, sure. Yeah, that's what I can say. You know, I didn't go to work feeling like, oh, I'm going to see Svanbani and Svanbani is like whatever. Like, I don't know, man. Like when I joined the team that I had joined, I felt really, really welcomed. Um, and I felt like I was in a safe space in that team where I could ask for help and people didn't get tired, because you know when you're an intern, like you most probably need the most support and guidance, given the fact that a lot of things were new to me. So yeah, with people who've been there for a very long time, we're just friendly and you get what I mean. And then it and number four is exposure to the insurance industry. That for me was really, really dope. Um, it was one of those industries that I think it sort of helped me decide in terms of like the industry that I want to be in. I love finance, I love numbers. Considering the fact that I did accounting and I loved accounting, um, did well in it. I mean, I probably say that every other video. Let me just we move on. I'm not an accountant, but it just helped me like find my, sort of find my path as to where I want to work in. I've found that I enjoy working in the finance space, anything financials, banking, insurance. That for me was a really interesting space, and I enjoyed the industry. It was just I really did enjoy the type of solutions that were being offered, and also knowing how the whole insurance business runs. And it's easy to, when you're on the outside and you receive like a debit order for your insurance, whether it's short-term or long-term insurance, and that's that. And then sometimes you get double debited. You don't know what happened, like you get to know all of those things, like what goes wrong. And if there's like with the whole COVID thing, when it hit, I don't think anyone was really prepared for that. But then if you're going to be in a business, right, you need to ensure that, I think it's just like an overall business functions or functionality or whatever, right? So if something like COVID hits, right, communications need to be sent out to customers and all sorts of things. And it just like really shows you like the things that go down into making sure that such business needs are being met, so that their clients are also serviced properly, and like the daily runnings of like an insurance business or most businesses per se. And ah man, it was such an interesting space to be in. And yeah, you can tell that I love money and finance and numbers. So, and at number 5, what I appreciated, right, what I appreciated was the exposure that you were given to interacting with clients. I think in the beginning you are sort of like, at school, right, you don't interact with no except for when you're doing your third year project, then you need to present in front of like lecturers and stuff. But like it's few times, it's like it's probably 5 to 6 times a year that you get to do that. But now it's like on a daily basis. In the beginning I used to hate it like nobody's business, but I learned to love it, because you're getting so much skills, right? And it's really nice to sometimes get things done, get it over and done with while speaking to the actual person. Don't have to go have the client, then you have a business analyst to like sift through certain things, because now also it delays like the process. So it's sometimes nice to hear things from the horse's mouth, or communicate with them and say, oh, this is what we're offering. And also like, I don't know, guys. It's a. I really do enjoy communicating. It's sort of like also helped me like show off, my work. Because if you're gonna do a functionality, you have to do a UAT with a client, and then you show business, oh, this is what we've done, da, 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 and they're happy, and then they sign off, they're like, well done, or they won't say well done, or they say thank you. They say thank you. That is, it's like it's on another level. I really did enjoy that part of it, because you got to interact with business as often as possible. Even though like at some point they started to like putting but there's also like cons to that, because sometimes there's no boundaries. But I appreciate that type of experience, like to have learned very earlier on, as early as, I don't know, my 6 months into the into my work. I was already I'm gaining my confidence and being able to present, and get to what it is that business wants. And be able to say, oh no, we can't do this, and actually get to a space where you're in a meeting, you're contributing, and you understand each other, you have an agreement, and you understand all those types of vibes. um I learned to love it, because I think in the beginning, the reason why I say I didn't like it is because I wasn't familiar with it. We know that anything that is not in our comfort zone is sort of like uncomfortable. So I didn't like the uncomfortable part of it. But as the minute as I also was confident, because I think also the big thing was like, I'm new, and what if they ask me things that I don't know? And the more, then you know that if they ask you things that you don't know, it means that you must go back to the drawing board and learn more about whatever it is that you're doing. And so it was just like a room for growth for me, and I really did enjoy that part of it as well. So yeah, that's it from me today. Some of the things that I enjoyed and learned from my first job. So that's it from me, guys. Bye.